I'd heard about the backrooms lore for a while, but never in my wildest dreams did I think it was real. That was, until I found myself lost in a maze of rooms with an eerie yellow glow and walls adorned with pictures of bras. I realized I was in the infamous Brarooms, a subsection of the backrooms that seemed to exist solely to unnerve and confuse. The air was thick with a musty scent, like old laundry left too long in the machine. The carpet beneath my feet felt damp and spongy, as if it were trying to suck me in with every step. I could hear the distant hum of fluorescent lights, but when I looked up, there were none. It was as if the light was coming from everywhere and nowhere at the same time. As I wandered, I noticed that the pictures of bras were subtly changing. The colors shifted, the styles morphed, and the models seemed to stare right through me with eyes that weren't quite human. It was like they were trying to tell me something, but I couldn't understand. Then I heard it, a soft, rhythmic thumping, like a heartbeat. I followed the sound, my heart pounding in my chest, until I came to a door. It was the only door I'd seen in what felt like hours. I hesitated, but curiosity got the better of me. I turned the knob and pushed it open. Inside, the room was filled with mannequins, each one wearing a different bra. They were arranged in a circle, their blank eyes all focused on a central point, a large mirror. I stepped closer, my reflection staring back at me with a look of fear I hadn't seen before. Then the mannequins began to move. Their arms reached out, their hands grasping at the air as if trying to grab me. I stumbled back, my heart racing. I turned to run, but the door was gone. I was trapped. The mannequins closed in, their plastic fingers brushing against my skin. I could feel them trying to pull me into their circle, into the mirror. I screamed, but my voice was swallowed by the oppressive silence. Just when I thought all hope was lost, I saw a flicker of light. A figure emerged from the shadows, a woman, her face obscured by a veil of hair. She held a glowing orb in her hand, and with a flick of her wrist, the mannequins froze. "You're not supposed to be here," she said, her voice echoing through the room. "But since you are, you might as well make yourself useful." She handed me the orb, and the room began to shift and change. The pictures of bras melted away, replaced by doors leading to other rooms. I turned to thank her, but she was gone. I was left alone in the bra rooms, the orb my only guide. I knew I had to find my way out, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd only scratched the surface of the mystery. As I stepped through the first door, I couldn't help but wonder what other horrors awaited me in the depths of this liminal space. Back in college, I decided to do some urban exploration, also known as urbex. Little did I know where it would ultimately lead me. It started innocently enough. My friends and I had heard rumors of an abandoned building on the outskirts of town, a relic from a bygone era that had been left to decay. The building had once been a clothing factory, but it had shut down years ago, leaving the structure to rot. We decided to explore it one evening, drawn by the allure of the unknown and the thrill of adventure. As we entered the building, the air was thick with dust and the smell of decay. The walls were covered in graffiti, and the floors were littered with debris. We made our way through the building, marveling at the remnants of the past. But as we ventured deeper, we began to notice something strange. The rooms were filled with rows upon rows of old bras, hanging from hooks on the walls and piled high on the floor. The sight was definitely unsettling, but we pressed on, our curiosity now piqued. As we explored further, the rooms seemed to stretch on endlessly, each one filled with more bras than the last. The air was heavy with the scent of old fabric, and the sound of our footsteps echoed eerily in the silence. It was then that I began to feel strange. My body felt different, as if it were changing somehow. I looked down and was horrified to see that my body was slowly transforming, my skin turning into the fabric of a bra. I tried to scream, but no sound came out. My friends, seeing my distress, tried to help me, but it was too late. I was becoming one with the bras, my body merging with the fabric. I watched helplessly as my friends tried to pull me free, but their efforts were in vain. As the transformation completed, I felt a sense of peace wash over me. I was no longer human, but a part of the building itself, forever trapped in this endless room filled with bras. From that day on, I became a part of the urban legend surrounding the abandoned clothing factory. They say that if you listen closely, you can still hear the faint sound of my voice, lost in the endless maze of the Brarooms. Did you ever have a dream so bizarre that you thought you'd immediately wake up, but you couldn't because it was real? That's how it started for me. I was in a massive, endless department store, but it was empty, save for rows upon rows of bras. Each one was a different color, a different size, a different style, and each seemed to be calling my name. I walked among them, my fingers brushing against the delicate lace and satin, and as I did, I noticed something strange. The bras were starting to move, to shift, as if they were alive somehow. And then, one by one, they started to open up, revealing dark, endless voids within. I tried to run, but there was nowhere to go. The department store had become a maze, with endless corridors and turns, and no matter how fast I ran, I couldn't escape. And then, I saw it. A bra, bigger than the others, with a portal so dark and deep that it seemed to swallow the light around it. Without thinking, I stepped through, and found myself in a different place. It was a room, but it also somehow wasn't a room. It was a space between spaces, a liminal realm where everything was just slightly off. The walls seemed to be made of flesh, the floor of bone, and the ceiling of a dark, starry sky. I was in the Brarooms, I realized, and each bra I had seen was a portal to another part of this strange, unsettling place. I wandered through the rooms, each one more bizarre than the last. Some were filled with endless rows of shoes, others with shelves of hats. And in each one, I could feel the presence of something watching me, waiting for me. And then, I found the heart of the Brarooms. It was a room like all the others, but it was different. It was alive, pulsing with a strange energy that seemed to draw me in. And in the center of the room, there was a bra, larger than any I had seen before. It was calling to me, I realized, and without thinking, I stepped through the portal, and that's when I woke up. But even as I sat up in bed, gasping for air, I knew that it wasn't just a dream. The Brarooms were real, and I had been there, and I knew that I would never be able to forget them, or that strange, unsettling feeling they had left with me.